All right, what is up, dudes? Today we are going to be looking at where should you place your keep if you are the Marquis de Cat. I can tell you for a fact that 80% of people who play the game, especially newer players, start over here because it has two building spaces versus one. And I understand that logic. I used to do that too, but I think personally that is the worst starting location on this entire board. So the reason why is the cat faction is 100% reliant on controlling 5 territories. So if they can get 5 territories, they can generally get somewhere between 8 and 9 buildings out, which is what they're going to need to stay and be competitive. Especially because they're going to be relying on their recruiting options, since they have some of the best in the game, to get figures on the board, and they need to get them into key locations. Alright, so reason why that corner is not really a great corner. One, you need to have a connected series as the cats in order to use your sawmills, and you need rule, so that's really important. And two, this is a very disconnected network, right? So you have like this one area up here, and let's say maybe you have a sawmill here, and your recruiters are out in the front, which you want because you want to get them into the heat of it all. But if something like the birds come in here and they move in, you lose rule, you lose the ability to use that wood. And that's so detrimental. And the other issue here is you say, oh, well, as the cats, I can move 2 spaces. Yeah, you can move 2 spaces, but only one group. So it's like your recruiters are 2 spaces away, which is kind of not a great move. Whereas if you had a territory like, say, here, and you wanted to move 2 spaces, then your recruiters funnel in and help protect or take over a situation like that. When you play in the cats, you're playing for control, and you want to just control your territories with your buildings in it. And you don't want to spend a lot of extra actions moving and trying to defend them. So let's say we put the sawmill here. All right, the problem with this is it is connected over to your keep, which helps a little bit, but again, you can get cut off by like a faction over there, which means you wouldn't be able to get your wood over to this area here. If somebody ever got into your keep, they would cut this off from here and all these territories, so you wouldn't be able to get your wood out there. And the other worst thing about this is this area right here is the second most popular clearing in the game, as far as amount of moves that go into it, right behind this fox clear right here, which is a really big battleground. So that's the other problem too, is you're constantly going to be trying to defend it. There's not a lot of good options of where to put your sawmill and build your network when you're over. Alright, moving on to the other top corner with the keep up here. This corner is more playable than the one over there in my opinion, but it's still not the best, but it is playable. I would recommend this if you're going to go for a crafting strategy, because you're probably going to be going for the 2 bunny cards to get the extra actions. So if you have a really good starting hand, you might choose that. It does give you a mouse clearing here, which is one of the best for single craft uses for victory points. So that kind of works well, and you can still position your recruiters out here. See that we have the 5 territories we talked about. It gives you some options on ruins, because both of these maybe is going to be activated by the Vagabond, which opens up some building spaces. It is a little bit more connected. You can see all 4 of these spaces here. Makes it a little bit easier. The only one you got to really protect is over on the corner there, and you might get lucky that nobody ever goes up to this corner or doesn't until later in the game, because it is so far away from everything else that's happening and all the action. Alright, now we're getting into the good corners. So bottom left here, this is a fantastic corner because it has the 5 spaces. This one in particular is heavily protected, especially if you get a recruiter on the outside. Great spot for a recruiting station here. As I said, this is one of the more popular territories for factions to move through in a game, so if you can get them there and keep factions out, play control, that's your game plan as the cats, and that's how you're going to win. Your whole network is connected, so it's very easy. If there's a conflict here, you can move guys from here in a single move. There's conflict here, you can move guys from here or here in a single move. Your whole network is connected, which allows for your sawmills to do better. So if you have your sawmill here, if you have your sawmill here, this is probably a better spot, to be honest, because it's more protected. You can connect with everything, and it's just all put together, and it's really a great starting spot because of that. The one downfill to down here is you're only looking at 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 spots, and that's assuming that the Vagabond's going to get this ruins. A little bit of a high risk there, but if he does get it, you have 9 spots to work with. That's exactly what the cats need, 8 to 9, to be competitive. All right, last location on the map, and my personal favorite as a cat player, especially if you're going with a strong recruitment strategy. These positions just work. We got our 5 territories. This will be the conflict area. This is definitely where most of your fighting will be going, but you can support it with 2 recruit centers right down here. It's so easy, one move, they can move in. That's really great. Sawmill's usually pretty safe over there. I like that over here because you really want your one workshop on mouse, so you can try and get as many VPs off of that as possible. The other good thing about this is you got 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 potential spots. There is 3 ruins here, but that actually ends up working better. A Vagabond is almost always going to get one of these 3 territories, open up some space for you. So that really keeps it flexible there. So next time you're the cats, give it a try. See if one of these other areas works. Like I said, I know 80% of the games I see, people are up here. So it'd be interesting to see if this changes the meta a little bit with the cats. All right, guys. Smash the subscribe button. Thanks for watching. Peace.